Yusuke Murata is making really complex fanfiction, and one is making an actual story. Every time we get a good cohesive narrative with Yusuke Murata, he says, I've got an idea, and he redraws the entire manga, thus extending the length and destroying the continuity, thus making it basically Dragon Ball AF. Anybody remember One Punch Man? One Punch Man seemed to be this gigantic cultural phenomenon during season 1. The animation was godlike and stellar. Everybody was going sicko mode and nuts, cosplaying as Saitama. I saw people doing these challenges where they did 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups with a 10-kilometer run every single day, 100 squats as well. They were going sicko mode and nuts. It was so fun to see these challenges. But then One Punch Man season 2 came out and the animation quality dipped significantly and everybody got really upset about One Punch Man season 2. And then One Punch Man season 3 happened and they had this sliding PNG. It was just this sliding PNG of Garou coming down, and the animation was bad, the fights looked horrible, and the only reason that people cared so much about it was that the artist who made the newer One Punch Man manga, Yusuke Murata, was making these godlike, amazing, just crazy large spreads throughout the entirety of the manga. People were really excited about it, right? If this was as simple as them just being mad at the animation of the new season, I would not have made this video, but the issue has gone even further than that. Yusuke Murata is kind of racist. So I was scrolling through Twitter on my phone and Yusuke Murata made this tweet or replied to this tweet. He made this, he said this. So some HJB news, it says Pakistanis make up 3% of the UK population. They are responsible for 30% of birth defects. They are being born. R-word. It's costing the economy billions and billions because Muhammad married his cousin. And then Yusuke Murata, the artist behind One Punch Man, said, they have small heads, high noses, and thin lips. They really resemble the Moa statues. Could they be descended from ancient people? Now, initially, this sounds a little bit like a compliment if you're a little dumb. He's essentially calling them Neanderthals is what he's doing. So I was a little bit confused and perplexed why Yusuke Murata, the artist on One Punch Man, was doing that. Why am I always calling him the artist for One Punch Man? A little bit of history for you if you don't know. You see, One Punch Man was made by One. This is One. It's not an actual picture of One, it's just the thing he uses for when he's actually going out and about. He also made Mob Psycho 100. Mob Psycho 100 is definitively top 5, one of my favorite animes of all time. It's top 5, it is not 5. It's probably about 3. I love Mob Psycho 100. If you haven't seen Mob Psycho 100, it's fully complete. You can watch it. It's just great. It's also fully dubbed in English because a lot of people watch English dub. You can just enjoy it that right there. Now, I love Mob Psycho's story, and the animation in Mob Psycho is amazing. The art style in Mob Psycho is very amateurish. It's very strange, but the animation in the show is really good. I would have preferred this animation, this Shin-chan level of Crayola animation for all of One Punch Man, as opposed to the high-octane version of One Punch Man that we got. Now, would One Punch Man be as popular if we had the animation style of Mob Psycho? I think yes. I think it would have been as popular, but because of the story, simply on virtue of the story, Yusuke Murata decided, man, I really want to get really into One Punch Man and redraw it for you. And Yusuke Murata is a very accomplished manga artist. He made Ice Shield 21 and a bunch of other stuff. This is how I know for a fact that all good artists can also be really horrible people. For instance, I think the person who made Sunken Rock, right? The person who made Dr. Stone, this guy, Boichi, and he also made the Ace side manga, I think he is not that good of a person. To be honest with you, I just don't think he's that good of a person. I think he drew a lot of hentai and a bunch of other stuff of that variety. Don't think he's that good of a person as a human being overall. I think he's great overall. He doesn't know how to finish a story, to be quite honest with you. You ever seen Sunken Rock or the ending of Dr. Stone? You just know he doesn't know how to finish a story. Just a great artist, and also just kind of a scum person with the way he makes his stuff. He's very provocative in nature of that variety. He's not that good of a person. Being a good person is not a requirement for an artist. I mean, look at H.P. Lovecraft's cat's name. Look it up. Just look up H.P. Lovecraft's cat. It's a slur. It's a slur and then man. You ever see Winnie the Pooh? You know Winnie the Pooh's friend that hops around his tail, the tiger, Tigger. Put an N in front of that and then put a man at the end of that. That's the name of H.P. Lovecraft's cat. I'm not going to make you go through that effort. I'm just going to tell you the name of his cat. So Yusuke Murata has been drawing the new version of One Punch Man, while One has also been drawing One Punch Man. This is where the main bulk of the issues stem from. People prefer the really bad art as opposed to Yusuke Murata's version. Why is that? This reminds me of the SpongeBob episode where King Neptune popped up and then he made all these patties. And then everybody said, oh, it's a bunch of patties. There's a cry patty contest, hamburger making contest. And SpongeBob made one patty, and King Neptune said, I think I'll eat it again. This is outstanding. This is the best meal ever. I'm going to tell you what Yusuke Murata is making as opposed to one. Yusuke Murata is making really complex fan fiction, and one is making an actual story. Every time we get a good cohesive narrative with Yusuke Murata, he says, I've got an idea. And he redraws the entire manga, thus extending the length and destroying the continuity, thus making it basically Dragon Ball AF. You gotta know like 6 layers of lore behind Dragon Ball AF to understand. Dragon Ball AF, I believe, was made by Toyotaro, who is making currently the Dragon Ball Super manga right now after the passing of our great GOAT Akira Toriyama. And Dragon Ball AF was a cohesive nightmare garbage nonsense. It's what people think Dragon Ball Z is. They think it's just hard fighting and more hair and big stuff, when Dragon Ball Z is actually a really cool complex story about the journey of Goku becoming a masterful mentor. But that's not what people care about at all. So what we have right now is we have all these redraws going on, and specifically 2 big redraws that really affected me while I was reading were these 2. This is Child Emperor. Child Emperor had a fight against this character called Phoenix Man. I believe it was 3 times this fight was completely over. This was the end of the fight. It didn't really matter about the ending of the fight. The fight was done, right? And then Murata said, wait, I have a better idea for this fight, and then redrew the ending of the fight for Phoenix Man to come back again, because Phoenix Man is a phoenix, so he keeps coming back. And so Child Emperor had to do a little bug tick in order to get Phoenix Man out of his suit, because the suit was giving him all of his power. It was really strange. It was a very odd thing. These redraws went on for, I think it was maybe 6 months of them just continually redrawing the same fight scene over and over again, because Yusuke Murata kept continually trying to draw really complex fan fiction and aura farming. I'm not quite sure if one oversaw the revisions to his own manga. Maybe he just liked the really cool expressive artwork, but I think Yusuke Murata got his head too far up his own butt. I think Yusuke Murata genuinely believes that he is a better story writer than one is. On a side note, before I get into the big one that changed that really pissed me off, I want to talk about the character Blast. So if you don't know, in the One Punch Man story, there is the #1 hero who in the current manga has not been revealed yet by One. There was this theory a while back that the top hero in the world was actually just Saitama, but they never knew who Saitama really was, so they just thought that, okay, so we just have a top 1 for the hero ranking, and it's just Saitama, but eventually Saitama's gonna reach the #1 in the hero ranking, and it's gonna be revealed that he was always the #1 hero. There's also a lot of evil Saitama theories and stuff of that variety, so it was really cool. The mystery behind the #1 hero was this amazing thing that a lot of the One Punch Man fans really wanted to continually go. And I think there's something stupid about revealing your magic. One Piece does this really well, where it doesn't really reveal the magic yet. Same with episodes 4 through 6 of Star Wars. That's why Star Wars was so powerful to me, because it didn't reveal the magic. It just told you there was magic, but didn't reveal it. If you think this is a bad idea, I want you to remember the original Avatar: Last Airbender. They never revealed the magic until Avatar 1 and Legend of Korra. Then they revealed the magic. And then there was the other way they revealed the magic with Pokemon. They keep revealing the magic of Pokemon. Arceus is the Jesus of the world. Yeah, but you know, all these other legendaries made the Pokemon world. There's also Dragon Ball Z, where they revealed how you become Super Saiyan. You get a tingly feeling in your back. Revealing the magic is one of the worst things you can do to me as an author. When you tell the audience how the magic works, it destroys the entirety of it. Some of my favorite movies of all time never even consider revealing the magic. Princess Mononoke. We have any Studio Ghibli film, actually. Spirited Away, Princess Mononoke, Howl's Moving Castle. They don't explain how the magic works. You're there for the story and not how the power system works within the story. Those stories are always good that way. Yusuke Murata just revealed Blast, and he's kind of boring. There's this character who we didn't know, who was mysterious and didn't pop up, and now he's just kind of a cohesive part of the narrative, and he's not even as close to as strong as Saitama. There's no mystery behind him. There's no mystery behind Saitama or Blast, or there's just nothing. There's a big nothing burger. It feels very lame to execute it that way. I wish he didn't reveal him so early, because it seems odd. There's this cool thing in the original One Punch Man manga that happened, where instead of revealing Blast, they revealed Blast's son, who's a part of the New Hero Association, which is awesome. I love Blast's son. It's as if One is actually making a story, and Yusuke Murata is trying to just make action all the time. And the reason I know he's trying to make action all the time is because of my very second complaint that is the biggest complaint among the redraws. This is Cosmic Garou. Cosmic Garou looks awesome. I think he's amazing. In terms of power scaling, in terms of Dragon Ball Z fanfiction inside of my brain, I think Cosmic Garou is one of the greatest pieces of character writing I've ever seen when it comes to design work. In terms of character in itself, I think Cosmic Garou is a nothing burger of a thing. I prefer Monster Garou. Monster Garou is much better than Cosmic Garou. Monster Garou is the slow accumulation of Garou actively becoming a more dangerous, villainous monster. So, let me give you an example and make you understand what I'm talking about here. In the original one version of the fight, Saitama fought against Garou, and it was really cool. He ended up destroying his entire villain monster ideology. I'm Garou the monster, but he was playing monster because his heart wasn't really in it. Saitama understood and fought many monsters throughout his life, so he knew that Garou wasn't really committed to being a monster in totality, because monsters are monsters. They don't care about people, and Garou was still caring about people. So they end up fighting, and because Saitama is just his regular hero, and he's defeating the monster Garou, and it's supposed to be, yeah, heroes always win. That's why I'm here. I'm the hero who always wins. One Punch Man. The Yusuke Murata version was getting really close to doing this. It was adapting it back and forth 1-to-1, and it was really cool. I thought it was awesome. And there was this scene right here. Oh my god. If you were around for this right here, if you were around for when Garou and Saitama were about to sit down and have a conversation, I was excited for the Hunter x Hunter level of dialogue that hopefully was going to come from this. I was over the moon about this. We just had a fully monsterized Garou sitting very polite style, and Saitama sitting just pensively waiting for a conversation to happen. And next chapter, everybody in the community was so hyped. This was the exact moment everybody gave up because a redraw happened. A redraw happened where instead of us getting a conversation between Garou and Saitama, we ended up getting just this weird, strange, just power scaling upscale of Cosmic Garou going to Jupiter and fighting. And I'll admit one thing right here. Saitama farting and destroying all of Jupiter's gas was really cool. No, Saitama sneezing and destroying all of Jupiter's gas was really cool. He farted and went from Jupiter to Earth with one fart. That's crazy. Just the power scaling and goofiness and randomness of how Saitama operates as a character. It was just fun. It was just funny. It was abnormally funny. But that's very one-off. You really only get one good instance of doing a big action scene if it's not really memorable as it terms to just having a big power scaling thing. It reminds me of when people make an OC for their favorite show. Well, this is my character from Naruto. It's Hyuga Uchiha Steve. See, he's a Hyuga clan and he's an Uchiha clan member, so he has both eyes and he's really cool. I love him a lot. This is my One Piece OC. He's actually Luffy's secret brother. See, back in the day, Luffy forgot about his backstory, and he's actually a secret celestial dragon too. And Ace died, so he's actually going to inherit Ace's. I'm just talking about Sabo. I'm really just talking about Sabo. Sabo feels like fan fiction to me. I don't know, that's just me. But if you want to make an action story with very little cohesive narrative, that's fine and dandy, but those stories never live to tell the test of time. For instance, I love Gurren Lagann, and it's not because they're tossing universes like shurikens at each other. That's not the big reason why I love Gurren Lagann. I love Gurren Lagann because it was confident enough to take away and get rid of, is what I was trying to say, of characters that are very cohesive to the narrative. That is a very strong trait in an author when it has confidence in its other characters to get rid of fan favorites. Jujutsu Kaisen does this really well. I appreciate that a lot. That's why I like JJK a lot. It has confidence to get rid of characters. It's kind of, sort of, it like very kind of has confidence to get rid of characters. I don't want to talk about spoilers for JJK. I don't want to do that. I feel the same way about Yusuke Murata's version of One Punch Man that I feel about Avatar: The Last Airbender live action. It has no reason to truly exist and divvy from the narrative outside of whoever is making the manga, which is Yusuke Murata, to put his own fan fiction in there. It seems odd. Also, the Yusuke Murata version is significantly more provocative than the original vision that one has in the manga. It is just wildly more provocative. I'm not sure what's going on with there, but it's as if every time he has a chance to draw some thigh meat or something of that variety, or show that Tatsumaki isn't wearing underwear, he just actively shows that Tatsumaki is not wearing underwear. It's his favorite thing to show. Because of all these redraws and changes and things of that variety, if you go to the One Punch Man subreddit or ask any of the One Punch Man fans how they feel about Yusuke Murata's version, version, nobody is really excited about it at all. The newest chapter released about 6 days ago, and if you go to the rankings and see how people voted, a lot of people are giving this chapter a 1. Now, I'm not going to talk about the chapter in totality. I'm just going to tell you that a lot of people gave it a 1. Not many people enjoyed that. It's overwhelmingly 1, even with myself included giving it a 1. If you look there, you can see, unironically, the blandest chapter I have ever read. Predictable jobbing with the wholesome smile and zero antagonism between the heroes and the hero hunter. Just stay a little banner. There's absolutely zero tension either. Manga looks way too bland for a dragon level as well. Strange. Monster looks way too bland. I misread that. Monster looks way too bland for a dragon level as well. What the hell was the point of this chapter? I couldn't finish it. I closed it the moment Siryu appeared. I just can't. Someone put me out of this misery. The manga is all about fan service at this point, and yeah, it is. I don't know how else to describe it, but it really feels like this was written by someone who was a bit fascist, no? It feels like Garou has been transformed to an edgier version of Saitama. I feel like lately in the manga, every side character only exists to all and goggle about Saitama and Garou now, Suryu's superiority, or something of that variety, and that goes against every message of One Punch Man, which is about believing in your heart and not letting your past, your world, limit you. They even flat out said it in a webcomic. I feel like the true One Punch Man spirit, the Nero heroes should have teamed up with Garou to defeat that monster and find out about their own heroism through it, but I guess we can just use them as glaze fodder. I don't effing know. Also, why is Garou not hot anymore? He was at least hot AF as a monster, which is a funny complaint, just strange. I don't see where the fascism comes from. I don't know where that, not really sure what's going on with the fascism comment. That seems a little bit odd to say that. That's just very odd comment. Now, let's go ahead and read what they say about the new 1 chapter. These are the voting for the new 1 chapter. It's really good. A lot more people are reading the new 1 chapter because it's progressing the story in a very nice, cohesive way. Unsurprisingly, this one was another banger that was worth the wait. I was also surprised this came sooner. I fully expected it to be near the end of this year. They even have a joke right here where they say when the manga adopts it and its cosmic fear mode activated. I'm not going to explain what's going on in the manga with 1 right now, but they're just constantly making fun of cosmic fear Garou, which is really funny. This chapter advanced the plot in a monumental way. In most manga, this would be like 10 chapters, and everything that happened was actually relevant to resolving long-held questions. A lot was revealed. It really feels like it was going somewhere big fast, like the last several installments. It felt really satisfying and totally the opposite of what's going on with Murata's version. I love that they use any chance to dog on Murata's version anytime they get. And a bunch of other comments just kind of dogging on Murata's version. I was trying to find the ones that didn't spoil what was going on, but that's pretty much what's happening right now on the One Punch Man subreddit. I am wildly mad at what they're doing with the One Punch Man series and the manga right now, mostly because the new anime seasons have been garbage and have been flying under the radar, and I've been hearing they're making season 4, and I have no hope or hype for the new seasons coming out because it was supposed to be hype moments in aura, but it's not hype moments in aura. It really sucks too because the original artwork of 1 was really good when it came to it being its potential to be animated. We can see that with Mob Psycho, like I said in the beginning, but I doubt we're ever gonna get cohesion when it comes to One Punch Man, when it comes to people watching the anime. More people vastly watch the anime than read the manga, so most people are not going to be able to get the fun, beautiful nature of what we're going to be witnessing that way. I feel the same way about people watching anime and manga that I do when I read the light novels for Overlord, or that time I got reincarnated as a slime. I am fully caught up with those when it comes to the light novels, and I don't know many people reading them. I just don't know. I want to talk about, I don't know, the other dragons and that time I got reincarnated as slime. I want to talk about other stuff, man. I want to have a fun conversation about stuff. I gotta join a Discord or something. I don't know. Anyways, just want to talk about the One Punch Man drama right now. If you don't know why people are hating on the manga so much, been seeing a lot of people ask me, hey, why are people hating on the One Punch Man manga? Well, I thought I'd make this video to explain it, and hopefully somebody can find this video and understand why there's a lot of hate on the One Punch Man manga right now. With that being said, I got a few announcements for you guys. You guys can click on the video if you don't care about it. Go ahead and subscribe to the Patreon for $1 a month. If you want to support my content, you guys can go and get out the video now if you want to. I will be at Youmacon right here. I'm doing 10 panels. I'm doing a lot of panels on Youmacon. I'm doing 10 panels on Youmacon. It's in Detroit. I'm gonna be downtown Detroit. I'm doing 10 panels on Youmacon. If you ever want to see me, if you ever want to hang out with me, I'll be here. I specifically requested that they don't mention me by name so people would just have to try to find my panel so you can enjoy the convention. And I also want to enjoy the convention myself, so I'm not overcrowded. Whenever this happens and I go to an anime convention and I'm mentioned by name, I am often overcrowded. I believe the bigger I get as a content creator, people are just gonna come sporadically come up to me and stuff of that variety. But I will be at Youmacon in Detroit if you guys wish to see me there. I'm not telling you what panels I'm doing. You should know what panels I'm doing because you're a piece of me. We are in a platonic polyamorous relationship if you're above the age of 21. That is what we are on this channel. We are all together as one cohesive unit. Also, I have 2 other channels if that interests you. I have a side channel right here called Cyril's Side Thoughts. Boom, I read Reddit stories over here. And I have another channel called Cyril's Plays. Look at that. I play video games over there. Also, I stream Monday through Friday, 4:30 to 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time if you're curious about that. Well, I guess I said everything I needed to say. Thank you guys for checking out this video. Remember, 2 of these every single day, as long as you are here for me. I'm out. Peace.
I'm your nigga night, be my loyal, low. Ooh, happy to try what you need. Your world, I love to live in it. Ooh, I love the ride when you